do you ever film things and you're like, by the time you get ready to upload it, like edit it, you're thinking, oh, it's already over, I'm not going to post that. And then you're like, no, I think I should post it. So look at what I did 2 weeks ago. By the time you see this, the whole event will be over, most likely, but I wanted to show you something. When you are traveling, especially in a world that is so uncertain right now, the one thing that I love to do and that I always do is have paper versions of maps. This is like the sole reason we're members of AAA, is because you can go in there and you can get maps of every single state that you're going to be going through. Now, they gave me duplicates because my husband is going on a trip to go pick up something that we will be announcing shortly, and I went in there, gave them our starting location, the ending location, and then all of the states surrounding that we have relatives that live in. So he is going to Indiana to pick up the ESD dog, and on his way or on the way back, if he has to come home by car, he will have paper maps in his suitcase because his wife will be putting them in his suitcase. This is a double set. He will have paper maps, one of the entire United States so he can map out his path, and one of a straight across trip going through. Nebraska is my favorite state to drive through. Did you know that? I love Nebraska. But he will also have the states that are up and below that I have relatives in. So he can stop and get help if he needs it. But he will never be without knowing where he's at, even if he has no cell service and he has absolutely no way to communicate with GPS or anything like that. So that is one thing about being prepared that I always think about, is when I go on vacation. How can I find my way home? Right? I always want to be able to find my way home. And maps are free for if you're a member of AAA, which is basically why we're members of AAA. So there you go. And you know, there was a brief moment when he called me at 1:30 in the morning and he said, they're not letting me on the plane. And I'm like, oh. And then there was that, you know what? He can find his way home. I have all the maps for him. They're in his suitcase. He can pull them out and he can get himself and his dog home. Like, no worries. There was like maybe a brief moment of, what? And then there was no worries. And literally, that is the reason why we are members of AAA. Well, not only that, but the roads here are pretty sketchy. So they have had to rescue us a few times, or 2 or 3. But they have had to rescue everybody. So we're just normal, I guess. What is normal? We're not normal. We're not normal. Anyways, maps. Being able to read a map is imperative, especially in this time and day and age, because we never know when we're going to have cell service and when we're not. And there are some times on these roads here we don't have cell service where we live. And that is why I always carry paper maps in the back of my car and in my bug out gear, just in case I need to find my way home or to a specific location. You guys have a great day out there. Bye. Now I've got to find a creative way of using those maps. I mean, I'm thinking envelopes or something. I mean, we didn't need to use them, so now we need to find some creative way to use them.